Hey guys, I'm Joel. In this video, I'm going to be cleaning this carpet that I just got because everything's completely ripped apart in this car. So I took the time to get a new carpet. This one's out of an IX, so you see that there's a little hump right here. So I'm going to try and see how that fits inside of a rear-wheel drive car. Hopefully it's not too bad and not too much different, but this car stinks so bad. And this foam right here that's under it, I've never seen a carpet that is like a two-piece like that. So it's cool that this has its own whole section. That stinks so bad, so I want to wash it, get it all clean, and so I can get ready to dye it because I want to fix all that and get it all black. I'm just gonna start by scrubbing it all, try and get all the dirt out of it and get it all clean. I'm gonna try and use some of this simple green. I'm gonna just spray it on and hope that that gets rid of some of the smell that is attached to it, because that's the main goal of this. It's not really that dirty, it just stinks. Yeah, it doesn't really smell that much anymore. So I'm just gonna prop it off to the side and try and do the rest. Let it dry, and hopefully after it dries, it won't have that stench because it reeks. I'm gonna try and do the same thing on this and hope that I don't destroy it. It's been like 10 minutes and I've still been spraying this and still more soap is coming out, so. It's like 20 minutes later and it's still coming out soap. I may have underestimated how strong this stuff is because I thought it wasn't really covering it that much, but what? That's so much soap still. Let me stop being a dumbass and spray it vertically like this, because doing it on the floor is not doing anything. Now I'm gonna try my best to use this vacuum to dry as much as I can out before the sun goes down. So it's all vacuumed now. It's just damp now and not really that wet. So now I'm just gonna put these into the garage and try and find a place for everything to sit so I can let it air dry for a few days. I'm gonna use this engine stand with a broom through it as for the main carpet. Next sunny day, which is in like almost a week, I'm gonna let it all air dry out in the sun and hope for the best with drying, because if it's wet at all, it's gonna stink. Just barely does it all fit in here. This is so cramped. So it's been 8 days now and the carpet is fully dry now. I've let it sit outside every sunny day that we've had. This doesn't smell at all anymore, thankfully. All the fresh air and that cleaning got it so that it doesn't stink. I ended up deciding on using the Duplicolor vinyl and fabric paint because I was gonna use the RIT dye, but on their website they said that they don't recommend doing carpets like this because if you don't have it at the right pressure and right temperature, then it will make it so that the dye comes off. So like you have to wash it after you do that dye, and if you don't, it'll go on your shoes and it'll stain your shoes, and I don't want to deal with. Imagine I walk into my house, my all white house that my mother makes so nice, and I destroy all her rugs and floor and all that. I don't want to deal with that. So I'm gonna paint it because that sounds like an actual nightmare. But before painting it, I'm gonna vacuum it real quick, and then I'm gonna come back with this brush, pass it over, get all that loose dirt back out, vacuum it again, and make sure that it's super clean before actually spray painting it. So now that actually loosened, it looks like sand is right here. So I'm gonna come back in with the brush and get it all actually loosened. I'm almost ready to spray this, but I'm gonna come in and brush all the fibers in one direction and hope that it makes it easier. It says 2 to 3 light coats, so I'm gonna try and be pretty light on it. I don't want my shadow to be in the way, but now that corner is kind of really dark. It's very light right now, so I think the move is going to be to make it thick on this layer and then come in, brush it, and then make it thick once I brush it again, because I feel like if I brush it right now, it's going to be a lot harder to get it even. Now I'm gonna try and brush it this way, and then I'm gonna spray it horizontally. Yeah, it's making no difference at all, I don't think. This can is done. One can does 2 coats on one side. Honestly, I think this is as much as I'm willing to do. There's some lines in it, but I think once it's in the car and out of direct sunlight, it's gonna hide a lot of the imperfections. But like, that's a huge difference between the two. And I know that you guys are gonna ask, how crunchy is it? It's actually, if you do light coats, kind of how I did, it's a lot better than when you do very thick coats. When I painted the carpet on that one, I did very thick coats and it was very, very crunchy. But now it's like, it still feels like a carpet, which is very good. Like right here, I went kind of light, it feels very good. And over here where I went kind of heavier because it was very stained, it's still pretty good. I cannot complain. This is not bad at all. Wow, it's crazy how good it looks on camera. That looks insanely different and insanely good. I went and ate lunch and there's a bunch of dust everywhere now. So I'm gonna vacuum it again, and I almost forgot this piece too. I would definitely want to paint this too. So I'm gonna do the same thing again, brush all the fibers in one direction because I like how that side came out. Again, I'm gonna start with one light coat. The second can is just about done. I'm gonna move on to the third one just so I can get even coverage on this second coat. Now I'm just gonna do one more coat because there's a bunch of streaks in it. That's the carpet all done. Now I'm just gonna do the last little piece over here. I'll do a little time lapse of that. Now that the carpet is painted, I got this back piece in and it looks so good. The whole chassis harness ran for the most part down here. I just need to put the dash in, but I want to put the carpet in before the dash. So I'm gonna mount this down. I never had this in before, and now that I think back at it, it's so stupid for me not to have this in because I was always wondering why it took so long for me to heat the car up. And it's most likely because of this. No air was coming back over here and it was only blowing through there. So This should help regulate the temperature inside the cabin so much more. I swear, whenever I do have luck, I have the most insane luck, because I had one of these on the side of my house, and it happened to be the driver's side, and the driver's side is the one that I needed, because since I got my carpet out of an IX, the trans tunnel is different on the IX. There's a little hump right there, so this is a completely different part number, completely different piece. It doesn't fit at all in here. And the one that I had laying around, the only one that I had laying around, managed to fit perfectly. I'm so happy. Now that the two vents are in, I'm gonna start by putting in the two big ass foams that go under the carpet. Make sure nothing is under here, because if there's like a socket, it's gone forever. I just gave it a cut right here so that this could sit flat, because it was protruding a little bit. I might cut, I'm about to. There we go. Makes it so that it could form a little bit easier, not try and go back to that original IX form. No, is it upside down? Oh my God, it's definitely upside down. I just cut a chunk off. Fuck. It's definitely upside down. Oh, shithead. Yeah, it fits so much better now that it's not upside down. It's so overkill, but I want it to be quiet when I drive this car. Now I'm gonna try and put the carpet in alone. And there it is. Carpet is installed. Let's go. It actually kind of hurts my head being in here because it's so quiet. It hurts my head how quiet it is in here, but it looks so good. I got the dash in, everything connected to the radio. All my gauges are in. I love that this air fuel ratio is in here. I had my guy Pat, shout out to you Pat, 3D print that, and it looks so good. But I have not turned the car on to see if everything powers up. So I'm praying nothing catches on fire. God damn it, the speakers are still whining so bad. That's why I haven't pushed this all the way in. So all the gauges are on, which is really good. But the speakers have that insane whine still. Fuck. Here we go. The interior is on, the armrest bolted in. Everything fits so much tighter now that there's a carpet kind of holding everything up. Like this bolt isn't in right here, but everything is good. I need to bring it outside so I can wash it. It looks so good. Finally, it looks like an actual car. I currently have the muffler off right now because I want to see what it sounds like without the muffler, but I need to fill the coolant, let it bleed, and then I can actually put the muffler on, bring it outside and wash it. I added a whole bottle of this before, but I only drained the radiator and the engine is still like kind of full. So I'm gonna use half of this and, you know, see where we get with that. And just a little bit more. By the way, this is an E39 thermostat housing and it's a Euro parts. So this makes it easier for me to bleed. Once I start the car, and I'm gonna loosen this a little bit so water trickles out of there. It's gonna make it hopefully bleed very easily. Tack doesn't work. It sounds cool without the muffler. It sounds really deep. Yeah, now I'm just gonna let it bleed. I just got the muffler back on. Now I can actually get a good comparison of before and after. Whoa, what? It's so quiet. I don't know, it's definitely because I just had it with no muffler. So I'm like used to it being really loud, but I can't hear anything in here. This is sick. This is so cool. It's quiet as shit in here. Turn that down. It's so quiet. Thank you guys for watching the video. I really appreciate it. The carpet dye came out really good. The whole car is an actual car now, and it just feels so good to have that in there. The sound deadening was such a big difference. And now with it actually in, I can't drive another E30 with no sound editing in it. It's so worth it. It's so much quieter than it was before, and I want to make a video about the difference of that specifically later on, but cars kind of. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram right here for more. And yeah, thank you for watching.